So exactly, it's been 24 hours.
It's been just about 24 hours.
Just
correct?
about 24 hours. And since it's Diwali, it's the best time to celebrate.
To celebrate the man who actually illuminated, all of India a day before Diwali, gave us a good early start to, an early Diwali. You can
An early Diwali. They were saying no, which was what was going to be the brightest thing on planet Earth today. They had highlighted the map of India with all its lights, but Virat Kohli's smile.
It's like that viral image you have every year on Diwali where people talk about, NASA pictures.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure what you can see now is
Kohli stole that show also.
Exactly.
And okay, everybody will be doing Lakshmi Puja, they'll be bursting crackers, but we believe in Kohli Puja. Because this guy deserves to be revered after that knock that he made against
It was
Pakistan.
an amazing knock. There's no two ways about
I know,
it.
and okay. Primarily why we are discussing Virat Kohli is because such kind of knocks and such kind of games go a long way in determining how your T20 World Cup or your World Cup in general is going. I'll give you an example. Okay. In 2007, new to the format, not many expectations. We all felt, why is even India wasting their time?
In fact, remember, 2007 was a bad year prior because you'd had a very bad ODI World Cup.
And the vibes are pretty similar. You're bilateral giants, but you've lost the 2021 T20 World Cup in the first round itself. 1 year later, although it's not the same year, but 1 year later, 365 days. Today was the day, 24th October, that Pakistan had won for the first time against India.
And there was a horribly dominating, crushing win. 10 wickets. Shaheen Shah ran through the top order. There's nothing much to celebrate in that regard last year.
But yesterday, or I may say even today, I mean that we still are watching those highlights on loop. We are still looking at how Kohli played that six straight down the ground.
That six belies logic, because now when I keep watching it, I'm like, first off, I don't recall ever seeing him hit a shot like that.
Yeah.
But he went through with it, to his credit, and he managed to clear the rope. Even the second one, because remember, he kind of flicked it off, and I'm like, will that clear the boundary? And it just about did. But it did.
It did, and sufficient margin also. So, if I have to say, that kind of a knock. 2007, you got out of jail against Pakistan.
Correct.
One needed of 2 balls. Trust
somehow
Misbah to botch it up, and he botched it up. And then from that point on, what happened? You played fearless cricket.
Correct.
Now, 15 years later, Kohli played such a knock. You are almost on the cusp of losing the game. Rohit Sharma clearly said, we had no business to win that match. But 115 runs. And the IPL experience of Hardik Pandya also, similar situation. Plus Kohli, the chase master. Now, Kohli is not following his own template. The clear-cut template that Kohli is following is the MS Dhoni template.
Of taking it deep.
Taking it deep, calculating. We all say that take the game deep. But everybody overlooks that one factor of MS Dhoni, that was calculating. He knew which bowler to target. And Kohli said, when Shaheen decided to bowl from the pavilion, go for it. And that's what happened. So from that over onwards, Nawaz went for 20. The whole game was thrown open.
Actually, the one key over, I think, which a lot of us overlook was when Hardik decided to take on Nawaz. Nawaz's third over.
Yes.
21 runs came off it, and that entirely ruined the Pakistan team's plans, because, in fact, if it were not for Nawaz being so expensive in that over, then they would have bowled out both him and Shadab at that point, and they would have kept their pace bowlers, who had 2 overs each, to see out the remaining 6 overs.
Absolutely.
The remaining 3 bowlers. So, again, but what happened was they took on Nawaz, and Babar understandably decided, okay, look, no point giving him a 4th over because they will target that.
Yep.
At that point, India were looking to target, because again, Hardik saw him, he took him on, and they said, okay, if they bring him on again after the next over, you will target him.
Yes.
What happened there, however, was they forced them to improvise, change plans, and what Babar had to do was bowl his other bowlers up front in the hopes of either A, getting a wicket, or B, giving his weakest bowler enough of
final
a buffer to actually defend in the final over. Unfortunately,
that didn't
neither
happen.
really happened.
Neither happened. Now, the Kane Williamson template works if you take wickets. Now, unfortunately, Pakistan didn't take wickets after that as well.
I mean,
until the final over.
Yeah, exactly. They lost, but by the time it reached the final over, already the equation was in India's favor. And then, of course, they ended up losing their head.
I will give you a very interesting thing about the equation, okay? But see, the way we are able to recollect each and every moment of that game till now just shows the kind of impact that the India-Pakistan game had on us.
About it.
Even 24, and I'm even saying, if you have to look back at the top sporting moments of 2022, number one on the list is this knock by this man.
Absolutely.
And the way how Virat Kohli controlled the innings. This is one graphic that I had just made for this particular show. And I will just say, the control that Virat Kohli had, the clincher for me is third man, 2.3. That means no edges.
He wasn't looking to play that.
He wasn't fiddling that much outside of the off stump. For me, that 2.3% is a clincher. Number one. And look at the percentage from cover long off to deep mid wicket and long on. A total of 77%. 77% of it. What did that tell you? Pakistan were bowling wide and they were also bowling straight. Not giving Kohli any room, not giving him that much of width to leverage either the pull shot or anything. But the MCG wicket was such. The MCG wicket was that you had to pound the ball onto the pitch with the cutters, and you saw back of the lane, Naseem Shah exploited it, just did not ensure that he got the timing right. So, cover long off, deep mid wicket and long on, 52.9 and 24.1%. Fine leg also, that 20.7%, why did it come? Shaheen and Haris Rauf. They were trying to bowl the leg stump Yorker. Remember, at one point, Shaheen was coming round the wicket.
Yeah, because he was trying to get that angle in.
But that angle did not work.
It didn't help that they missed their own legs.
Kohli, deep backward square, long leg and fine leg. This entire arch that is there, he got it. So, according to the percentage wise, it has just arranged itself. But if you get the general field placements, third man, fine leg, deep mid wicket, long on, cover long off, you will understand where were the regions that Kohli did. What does that indicate? He batted straight. Absolutely gun barrel straight. Because the bowlers were not giving him width, so no third man. You miss the length, flick to fine leg. It happened in Hobart also, remember, by the way. The dimensions and the pitches of the Australian conditions are such that this particular arc, cover long off to deep mid wicket long on, that is the area you will pepper the most. And unless you get something to short, if it's short, if you want to cut it, cover that region. So this was the percentage that Kohli was playing with.
Yeah.
77% in this arc.
Correct. In fact, if you look at his shot control, and that I think is key, is that yesterday there weren't too many loose shots because he was in control of about 76%.
76%.
Shots,
and he played the pull shot. And remember, in Australia, you need to play the pull and the cut brilliantly.
Properly. Correct.
And Kohli, when he is in form, forget the fact, why have I said that he takes the MS Dhoni template? Look at the strike rate, what it was by 10th over. It was under 100.
In fact, India's run rate at that point was
4.45.
4.5, not 4.45.
4.5, yeah. 4.5 was in 10 overs, 115. But later on, check his rate, it was 146, the strike rate. 76% of the shots. So he never looked in danger of holing out. Of course, that one slog that he hit of Mohammad Nawaz, that Asif Ali couldn't haul back, that no ball.
Right.
That was the only time he seemed vulnerable.
Where he was flirting with a little danger.
But he handled Shadab, Nawaz, Shaheen,
and Haris very well.
And Naseem. I think Naseem and Haris pegged him down until 18.4. The win percentage for Pakistan was 93%.
That's the thing, and that's just how much of a game changer those 2 sixes were. Because otherwise, even one of those, if say they got maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 runs out there, it meant Nawaz was playing with 22 runs instead of 16 in the final over. That could have made a lot of difference.
Yep. And he did not have bowled seam up also.
He could have actually bowled spinners. Make them play singles, doubles, not necessarily just,
But perhaps if I have to look at it, Kohli had already settled into that zone. He was going to unleash a different gear altogether, which you have never seen in 15 years.
Yeah, because again, that shot of the penultimate ball of Harris's over, I don't recall really seeing him play too many shots like that.
And many people are still dissecting how on earth could he play that shot. It was back of a length at
Back of
pace.
length at a very good pace and a very uncomfortable
steepling bounce.
Yes, exactly. That's the key. That was the ball which Nawaz was bowling to great effect all through the evening.
I mean Haris
Rauf, Haris Rauf was bowling to great effect through the evening. And remember Pandya, when he was also getting into flow, when he hit those 3-6 against Nawaz, he brought back Haris afterwards. Pandya couldn't touch anything which Haris was bowling at him.
Yes, on the other hand, Pandya was struggling because either he was into the shot too early or he tried to hit it too hard.
Exactly.
It was the extremes for Pandya, and that's why Pandya struggled against Haris Rauf. But Kohli, he didn't make that much of, if you may say, a lot of adjustments. He just stood still on the crease. That standing still on the crease ensured that he got that shot. And remember, that spooked Haris Rauf.
Correct.
What was the game changer? We were all saying they need pi, 22-7. But because he realized, okay, if I bowl back of the length,
he might just actually hit
He may hit me again, this time not over straight, he may hit me over extra cover.
Correct.
So he made that field adjustment. Okay, I will bowl Yorker length on leg stump. But what is the risk in that? You risk bowling it in the slot.
And you risk actually bowling a full toss, and if you missed your length, which is what happened.
Rauf missed his length. He couldn't get the Yorker. It was in the slot, and Kohli whipped it to long leg for a 6. 16 of 6 was far better than a potential 25 of 22 in the last over.
Correct.
So Kohli, the man, has given us one of the epic knocks of this year. I mean, even he himself has said that this knock is higher than the knock against Australia that he played in Mohali 2016.
Because he says that the pressure here was far higher than it was against Australia, which is funny because again...
Very funny, yes.
Because again, that match was a potential quarter-final.
Yeah. It was a straight shoot because the dynamics of that group was upset by one particular team which has 1/100th of the population of Uttar Pradesh, and that was New Zealand.
Correct.
New Zealand defeated India, stayed unbeaten. India had to beat all the teams. Australia, on the other hand, had beaten Pakistan, but they had lost to New Zealand.
Correct.
So that was why the India were on the cusp of elimination twice. Lost to Bangladesh. If they had lost to Bangladesh, game over. But they won by 1 run. And that win against Australia ensured that they went into the semis. But on the broader picture, they have beaten Pakistan now. Now, generally when you look at it, whenever India does well against Pakistan in a T20I or in an ODI World Cup, barring 1992, they tend to do very well in ICC events.
Yeah, it sets the tone for them. Really.
Yes, whenever they have lost in the ICC events to Pakistan,
which is, to be fair, been
Champions Trophy. Champions Trophy, you lost in 2004, you lost in 2009, and in 2017. We all know what happened to India in that time. India crashed out in the opening stages of Champions Trophy in 2004, opening stages in 2009, final to 2017. T20 World Cup only once, but we all know what happened.
We know what happened there. They couldn't even make the semis in 2021.
Now, simple question to all my family members and to even you, Shane. Has this knock given India that, okay, we have gotten the hoodoo against Pakistan over, the hoodoo's done, is the cup in our side now?
I don't know about the cup, but definitely at least his place in the knockouts now is insides. And once you're in the knockouts, look, knockouts can be a bit of a lottery because it's who's better on the day. It doesn't matter how good your form was prior, because if you played well in all your group games and you still end up having a bad day in the semi or the final, then the trophy isn't yours. So it doesn't really matter. And that's the thing. For them, I think you have to take it step by step, break it down. The first major barrier which they had was beating Pakistan. Once Pakistan are beaten, now there's far less pressure in the game against South Africa.
Yes.
And what happened with
Rookie Techie is pointing that out exactly. SA versus Zim draws lifeline for India, rather Pakistan. India need to win 3 out of 4 to qualify, whereas Pak versus SA is a virtual quarterfinal. Rookie Techie, absolutely. Today, of all days, rain and South Africa, be it 1992 Sydney,
it's come into factor
be it
yet again.
2003 Durban, I think they will have to do a war dance. Whatever tribes are there, the 18 or 20 tribes that are there in South Africa, they'll do a war dance to say, don't ever rain. Because 1992, 22 needed of 21 needed of 7, then 21 needed of 1. Farcical. And 2003, the rain rule, not rain rule, DLS interpretation. What happened? Okay, no, you need 229 to win. So, tap. That's it, dot ball. But no, we needed 230.
Correct.
Game over. Out of the tournament. So today, South Africa needed only 13 runs. The game was reduced to 5 overs.
In the second inning?
Yeah. Actually, 7 overs. They needed 13 of 24, but the rain came yet again.
Correct.
And the heaviest rain had to come at the end, and that is why.
And even 13 of 24, they would have fancied their chances, especially the way Quinton de Kock was playing.
47 out of 51. And Temba Bavuma, 2 of 2.
And he was batting at a run rate of over
96% of South Africa's runs were scored.
And his strike rate was over, 250.
Close to 300.
It was 260 something, if I'm not wrong.
Wow. And Temba, 100.
Yeah.
Throw back to different era. Contrasts, just like South Africa. So, yes, India versus South Africa now is massive importance for South Africa because November 3 is Pakistan versus South Africa.
The end of the group stages.
That is the quarterfinal.
Yeah. That's a virtual shootout.
You wanted a quarterfinal, you got a quarterfinal. Pakistan versus South Africa for that second team. Because look, India can straightforward. I'm just not taking the other teams very lightly. Every team has it. Because today, Netherlands, who India play next, they actually did not run Bangladesh close. The 9-run victory margins.
It makes it seem closer than expected.
Yes, but actually Netherlands were out of it way before because of their slow batting. So, India take on Netherlands. They may win that. South Africa will be the key because Perth Stadium, pace, bounce. You have Rabada, Ngidi, Janssen, potentially the left armer, Wayne Parnell.
Correct.
That will be a tough match. And if South Africa beats India, then the whole equation is open.
Exactly.
And one of our, Rishabh Thakur, let us not be very, very sure about this because virtually through maybe, but if South Africa beats India and Pakistan beats South Africa,
then suddenly it's a
very, very different game altogether.
But yeah, I think India would be very happy with the way this match went because again, I think Zimbabwe would have been the one team you would have expected South Africa to handily beat, and they could have, but the rain played
spoil sport. Aditya Monti, KL Rahul never disappoints because nobody expects anything from KL in must-win matches. But was this okay? We all know that the broader picture, it wasn't a must-win, but yeah, you need to win matches.
It was a need-to-win match because for one, I don't think it doesn't
Please
matter.
load your arsenal.
No, it doesn't matter if you're playing against Pakistan on a dead rubber. That's not a dead rubber. And in this case, it's the opening match of a World Cup, and we all know what happens if India lose in the opening match of a World Cup to Pakistan.
Yes.
It sets a very bad tone, and that's what happened in 2021. So it was an important match. In fact, of these group stages, and I say this with no disrespect to any of the other teams, the two matches which India would have really been focused on, Pakistan and South Africa, they've beaten Pakistan. It gives them a buffer. They can maybe play with more freedom against South Africa.
Yeah.
So that, in that sense, this was a very important match because again, if you have to lose to Pakistan, then the match against South Africa assumes way more importance.
Way more importance. And okay, South Africa, yes, we agree, have not won an ICC event against India since 2011.
And they won an ICC tournament.
Yeah. They lost in 2013, they lost in 2015, they lost in 2019, they lost in 2017, So that is how it is. Pakistan also, on the other hand, when was the last time Pakistan lost to South Africa? About a decade back. They won in 2010, they won in 2010, they won in 2012, they won in if I may say 15, they won in 2019. So even Pakistan have gotten the better of South African ICC events now.
Correct.
So that is the way I'm looking at it. So Aditya Monti, KL Rahul, well, 3-0-4-28. That is his record against Pakistan, 8.75.
3-0-4-28 sounds like someone's bowling figures.
Actually, it is.
Yeah.
It is 3-0-28-4.
Exactly. 3 overs, no maidens, 28 runs, and 4 wickets.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Also, one thing, and I have to say this about KL, is the awfully striking similarities in the way he got out both in the Asia Cup and the World Cup. The same bowler, same
mode of dismissal,
same mode of dismissal, touchy shot outside, inside edge onto the stump, starter by.
Yep. So that 1 point, yet again, this 1 point could potentially galvanize South Africa, like how it did to Pakistan. Because see, Pakistan 1992, all is falling into place for a repeat of 1992 in some ways. Why? Because Pakistan had lost their first 4 games. Remember, 9 teams were playing and you had to play 8 matches because South Africa's entry made it into a 9-nation event. 4 matches were lost. What do we do now? They were on the cusp of losing in Adelaide in 1992 against England. 74 all out. You would bet that, okay, that would have happened. But the rain in Adelaide was so persistent that England could not even finish the full quota of overs. And so Pakistan escaped with that 1 point. And it was that 1 point that galvanized Pakistan. They won against Australia, they won against New Zealand. And the rest is history. Imran Khan's corner Tigers. So, okay, Mayank. Okay, close the super chat. Mayank Taplial. KL Rahul will score good on 27th.
As the atmosphere after yesterday's game will motivate him a lot.
Come on.
I agree with the first half of that statement.
Oh, come on. Why can't you give him credit that he'll score good on 30th also?
I hope he does.
Yeah.
I would want him to.
Ashwin leaving that wide ball was much. Okay, that's mean, Aditya. That's really, really mean. But look, DK had a
poor game as well. I think he succumbed to a bit of pressure there.
That's what pressure can do. A 37-year-old guy. Look, he's played far more years in MS Dhoni. But pressure can do different things to people. So, Rookie Take SA loses to Pakistan and wins, but they are still out as they have 1 less point.
Correct. I think that's the thing. This draw has really hampered them in that.
Now, South Africa will have to win 6 games.
And they'll have to hope for results actually falling their way because, again, they'll have an odd number of points. So, you need to actually have 1 more than the other team.
Yep.
But to do that,
so simple, you have to win all 6 games.
Yeah, for them, they have to win all 6
Why
games.
6? 4 in the league, semi-final.
So 4 if they win now, that gives them 9 points.
Yep. And only 1 more team is assured of 8 points. Because look, 1 team will definitely, if they get to say 6, there are 6 teams, right? 5, 10. 1 team 10, 1 team 9. Oh boy, it's gonna be now. Group 2 is really opened up to be a cacophony. So that is about it. Virat Kohli yet again Diwali celebrations.
Happy Diwali early on, 24 hours before.
24 hours before.
And speaking on that note, of course, happy Diwali to all of you.
All of you.
Thank you all of you for actually joining us in this edition of the Dugout.
Yes.
Actually means a lot. Thank you all for joining us. Keep joining us on a consistent
Have
basis.
a safe and green Diwali if you can.
And of course, we're ending the video for now. But of course,
we'll be back tomorrow.
We'll be bringing you a lot more coverage from the T20 World Cup, from the world of sports. So thank you all for joining us.
Tomorrow, join us for Australia-Sri Lanka. Big game.
And don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, tap the bell icon, and also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.
Vanakkam and happy Diwali yet again.